Hello everyone, Crack the Code here with another Java Basics video. In this video, we're going to be creating a new project in Eclipse as well as talking about what is a class in Java and what is the main method. Let's get cracking. Okay, so to create a new project in Eclipse, go ahead to the upper left corner and click this button up here. And since we're going to be doing Java, let's do a Java project. Go ahead and click next and name the project what you want. I'm just going to go ahead and call this one tutorial. Alright, now just click finish. Okay, now you notice we created the project and there's nothing on the screen. Nothing really changed. If we go over here to the left in the package explorer and click this arrow, we see source. Now, source is where everything in our project is going to go. This is where we write everything, we do everything. Now, in order to actually be able to write code in our project and have things happen, we need to create something called a class. So let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and right click source, go to new, class, and again you can name your class whatever you want. I'm just going to call this one tut. Now once you have your class created, you should have something that looks like this. And as you can see, it says public, class, and then whatever you called it. Class is a blueprint for the object that you're going to create. So in Java, usually a class is kind of referred to as an object. You can, for example, you can create like a dog class, and you could assign it different attributes like height, weight, breed, and those will be part of the dog object. And later you can call on that dog object and use it in whatever program that you're trying to write. Classes in Java can actually talk to each other, and they can get different information from each other based on what you're doing. So you could have, for example, a large dog class and a small dog class with their different attributes, and they could meet up together almost, and you can compare them. Another way to think of classes in Java is to think of it kind of like an actual class in a school. A class in school contains the students and the teacher. In this case, you're kind of the teacher, and you're assigning your class different pieces of code for it to do the stuff that you want it to do. So instead of homework, you're assigning it code or instructions for the computer to do. And once you do that and you run it, it passes through the Java virtual machine, and you get your output down here on the console. So hopefully you know kind of what a class is. It's basically essentially just a blueprint. It's something to write your code in, and I think with practice you'll be able to understand it even better. And now we'll go ahead and talk about what this means. So public means that anything can go reach into it and access this class and use it, and use the methods inside of it. A method is basically a miniature class within your main class. We could have like a miniature class, or as we like to call it, a method called bark, and that could make the dog bark. So we could have like a bark method that we can access and call on it to bark. As you move through these tutorials, you'll probably get the terminology that I'm using here, like call on the method, call the class. Like you kind of call things and you see what's going on, you see what you've written in them, and you access the different attributes that you assign them. So now that maybe you have some idea of what a class is, which is just the blueprint and what you write in, there's something else that every single Java project has and has to have. It cannot run without this component, and that is called the main method. Now remember that a method is just like a miniature class, and this is exactly what it is. In this case, the main method is what the Java virtual machine looks for when it runs your program. So it searches through your project, and it looks through your classes and looks for that main method, which I'm about to show you. And as soon as it finds it, it runs everything in that main method. So basically everything has to somehow connect all the way back to the main method and make its way back there. So you could have a class called main. So that just signifies that's the main class. And then you could have classes dog and cat. But and if you want to compare the two, for example, you have to have them plug them back into the main method. They have to fit back together in there. Otherwise, it's like as if you didn't write anything. The main method is required for you to run your program. And this is how you write the main method. It's kind of like this public class, only there's a few other keywords thrown into there. So let's go ahead and write that out. So first it's public, meaning that anything can access it. And then it's static, void, and then main. See the keyword main there because it's the main class. Go ahead and close it off with these brackets. And in here you want to write string arguments, or args. Go ahead. And in another video we'll talk about, what void means, what static means, but basically what you need to know is that this is required for you to run your program. You cannot run a program without this main method. Okay, so once you have this is basically you have a program, but if you click up here to the run button, nothing happens. There's no output down here. There's nothing there. So what we can do here is actually do something super simple and just print something out. So we could do system dot out. So we're calling on the system to output something. You see here print stream, we want to print out some text, and then dot. Now we're reaching into output and we're saying print line. Now go ahead and put quotations. In Java, whenever you want to put any text, do quotations and write inside the quotations. We can just write hello. And when we press run, Java went all the way through. The Java virtual machine went through, looked for the main method, looked inside of the main method, and looked and saw that we're calling upon the system that we want to output and we want to print a line, and it looked for the argument within there. We call the text and numbers and whatever else we put inside these parentheses arguments. So we put the quote-unquote argument hello in there, and it printed that out. And that's basically the basic idea of it. You could do a lot more with this. You could add a plus sign and add 10. So you can also print numbers. And you can do hello 10. You can add a space there and just do that again. There we go. So as you can see, system.out.println does that. And this is super simple. As we get further in the series, we can write lots of other things. We can use numbers, do calculations, recreate equations, make calculators, all this sort of stuff. And this will actually be kind of, the way to actually show everyone what's going on here. But here's something you can do. You can write anything in here, Absolutely. Anything you want to write, you can write it in there. You can play around with it. You can write different numbers, etc. And you can keep going with it. Alright, hopefully you have an idea of what these key components of Java are, the main method and a class. And hopefully I did a good job explaining them. Please tell me if I did or if I did not. I tried to make it as simple as possible so that you can understand it. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.